first start to get the attention of record labels, getting releases and stuff like that?
Can I just clarify? I heard about how did you start getting releases attention from record labels? Was that right?
Attention, did you reach out to the record labels?
Yeah.
Did they reach out to you? How did it come about?
Yeah, for me it was again at Edinburgh. It was a case of being like trying to be involved in the local scene, which was really small. It really helped being like the drum bass scene in Edinburgh is like basically tiny. Like everyone knows everyone. There's like one record shop, or I don't know if it's still going, but there was like a record shop called Underground Solution. The guy who ran that basically ran the night. So going there, being visible, buying the records, kind of just building up a network so you could then play them the music you were making, and then maybe get a show like supporting someone or playing in the bar through a night that they were doing or something like that. And then for me, it was just a case of being in the right place at the right time, where this guy was like, I'm starting a label. And I was like, well, I've got some music. So it kind of, it was just kind of fortuitous, really. But I think, yeah, if you look at a lot of established artists, and you kind of ask them or read their interviews, quite often it's like just that thing of kind of hustling, like being like flyering, being involved with people, just kind of getting out and about and meeting the people and getting on with the people who are releasing the tunes or putting on the nights. That's kind of what it's about, really, and just trying to integrate yourself into those sort of social circles, I guess. And then you can always like build up from there. If it's a small local label, you get a bit of traction there, and then maybe through that you meet other people who maybe working in bigger labels or other more established DJs. That's kind of how it went for me anyway.
Mm.
I lived online on AIM. Do you remember that?
Yes,
AOL,
yeah.
What was it? AOL Instant Messenger?
AOL Messenger, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like the MSN for producers. And I just used to chat to people all the time, send people music. And then it was kind of the growth of SoundCloud, when SoundCloud was kind of in its inception, and it was really big, and it was kind of a great way to connect with producers on a similar level, and we were all sharing music and kind of all growing up together. Some people might have worked with some labels and they might have been the person to pass it on, or you just connect with the label through SoundCloud, or now I assume it's Instagram. I wouldn't know how someone would start promoting themselves these days. It's just a very saturated market now. But yeah, I think I don't want to say right place at the right time. I think it does, you do put yourself out there and you do reap the rewards from that. So if you're vocal, not to the point where you're annoying someone, but if you're doing something that people want to hear and you're being vocal about it, then hopefully, not straight away, but in time, hopefully something should get noticed and you get picked up.
I think that right time, right place, right time advice comes a lot, and sometimes ignores the groundwork that people have laid. Like in Chris's case, they had this connection with someone. Like they could have been in Edinburgh with all that music ready to go, but had they not been involved in the scene, had not known this person who owned the record label and the record store, that wouldn't have mattered that they had the music, because they wouldn't have had that connection. So the networking Chris had done was part of that right place, right time. Having had material they had ready to go was part of that right place, right time. And it was an overnight success with 10 years in the making. But Adam, anything to add on getting those initial breaks or getting those initial contacts?
I think just putting yourself out there, speaking, having chats with people who all share the interest in the scene that you are interested in is really, really important. For me, it was like going to parties, going to nights, offering to do mixes for labels or events, promoters. Just kind of putting my name in the ring for any sort of opportunity, really. And then I think it was here at DBS, there was an opportunity to do the music. So I studied here, did my master's here. There was an opportunity to do the music for a new advert, and I had a minute 20 project, just like an idea. And I just sent it in as like maybe you might like that, and it got used. It got picked up by a label in America. They really liked it, and they said, "Can you send us the tune?" I was like, "Yeah, I just need to make the rest of it first." Then got to the thing and was like, "Creative block, what do I do?" But yeah, made the rest of the tune, and then that was sort of it. That was like first, I guess, like bigger release, and from an international label as well. So yeah, don't be afraid to put yourself in for those sort of opportunities, because you just don't know. I mean, I went to America off the back of that, from that friendship, and like, yeah, the opportunities that have come out of it afterwards have been amazing. So, yeah, even the smallest thing can just ignite the bigger things later on down the line, and yeah, each thing is super valuable.